Good evening everyone and welcome to races 77, 78 and 79 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. We're back in the British Isles and we're at the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit for 3 races tonight. Well, hello everyone, I'm Adam Bath and alongside me is iRacing World Championship driver Alex Simpson. Andrew Woodhouse should be with us in a few moments, but Alex, good to be back here at Brands Hatch. We were at the Indy circuit way back in March, I think. Back at the Grand Prix circuit though, long fast corners.
Yeah, very different layout to the little Indy circuit. It's going to be a lot of fun. Does open it up a little bit more for some overtaking as well. Yeah, it's going to be a good little race. Small little grid compared to what we've seen of late. So yeah, going to be interesting to see how it all pans out.
Well, Wojciech Savidovic continues to lead the Drivers' Championship at the moment. Didn't have the best of weeks at Suzuka, Alex. 3 pretty bad races.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, shocking week really. He'll be hoping to bounce back from that this week for sure. Before we just go into any tables and things like that, Adam, let's we just got a couple of little technical glitches with Andrew. We're going to try and sort those out. So we'll leave you with the rest of qualifying, and hopefully we'll be back up and running by the time we hit this first race.
Welcome back. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Andrew Woodhouse will be back with us shortly. We're looking at the Drivers' Championship heading into this race meeting. Wojciech Savidovic, his championship lead has been cut down, not by much though, to 568 points over David Baker in second, Stelian Chapelewski in third, Alex Smolensky in fourth, and Jamie Rushworth in fifth. Sebastian Jobe is in sixth with Simon Field seventh, Lee Thompson eighth, Kip Stevens in ninth, and Dan Hunt in 10th position. One notable absentee there, though, Alex, is Andreas Katz, who, after retiring from race 1, did not compete in races 2 and 3, and now he's outside the top 10 in the standings. And I don't think he's here this week either.
No, just all of it. I mean, he's still in the showdown because of the amount of wins that he's got, so that's the important thing, I think, for Katz. He probably knows that he should make it in. But yeah, dropped out of the points. Just goes to show you had a couple of bad rounds, missed a few weeks as well now, and just straight out of that top 10. That's how close it actually is from sort of about third place down. So yeah, just looking at sort of 5th, 6th, and 7th, they're ridiculously close. Actually, all the way down to 10th is just crazy close. And yeah, it's not much difference in the ES standings as well. Just up on screen at the moment, John Roberts seems to be just about able to peg Paul Smith there in second, but Scott Malcolm, Steve Richards, Richard Gore, they're all really close, and that's just behind Richard is Laura. They're all fighting for that top 5 spot as well. So that's yeah, anyone could be in the showdown for that series too.
Wojciech Savidovic is on pole position once again for race 1 here at Brands Hatch. Stelian Chepelevsky is in second, Sebastian Jobe third, Jamie Rushworth fourth, Jamie Fluke fifth, Russell Laidler sixth, David Baker seventh, Kip Stevens eighth, Daniel Kraft in ninth, and Alex Smolensky is in 10th position. 11th, Alex Smolensky. Whoa, here we go then. Not too long to wait before the red lights will go on and race 77 at the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship will be underway. We're here at the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuits. So, Paddock Hill Bend, Druids, then through Graham Hill Bend, Surtees, then the run down to Hawthorns, then Sheen Curve, Stirlings, Clearways, all renowned corners in the world of motorsport. What's going to happen in this first race, Alex?
Yeah, I wouldn't like to say. I mean, we've seen in previous, like the Indy circuit, really this first couple of corners can be all important. Guys are going to be trying to find a bit of room. Of course, we've got a little bit of a longer lap now to do that, so it's going to be exciting, no doubt.
Here we go then. Race 77 at the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship is underway. Savidovic gets away well, but Chepelevsky is still alongside him as they head into Paddock Hill Bend, and it looks like the GT Omega car might have the advantage. They turn around, they make contact, and look at Sebastian Jobe. He just goes down the inside of both of them and takes the lead into Druids Bend. He leads, but Savidovic is going to try and go around the outside. Is there enough grip there in this early stage of the race? There is not enough grip for him to get the lead, but Jamie Rushworth is now into third position. He has a little bit of a wobble as we head through Graham Hill Bend. Fourth is Jamie Fluke. Fifth is Stelian Chepelevsky from second on the grid. He's already lost a few places already. Russell Laidler in 6th, David Baker 7th, Kip Stevens in 8th. Then it's the two Pete Newman cars of Daniel Kraft, Simon Fields, and then Smolensky rounding out the top 10. Side by side, Thompson and Kaiser 11th and 12th, heading down the fast back straight towards Hawthorne Bend for the first time. Who is going to have the position? Kaiser has got the inside line, and Thompson on the outside. Thompson's going to try and hang it out round the outside in the Apex Racing TV car. They're still going to be side by side, Alex, as they head down towards Sheen Curve for the first time.
Yeah, great opening lap. We said they're all going to try and find some room out there. They're still doing it now. I said it was going to be a longer lap, but they're going to need it as well. Some great battles going on out there. Good start from everybody as well. I don't see anybody involved in anything out there, so probably the first time that's happened all season. As Lee's still fighting there with traffic around him. They're side by side beside him, as behind him there's Steve Hefford and Dan Blake.
Right, to complete the first lap then, Wojciech Savidovic, don't think that was in the script. Sebastian Jobe getting through. Sebastian Jobe was leading for all 3 races at Suzuka last week, and he managed to beat Wojciech Savidovic there. Savidovic ended up finishing second on that, well, got spun around quite late on in the race after running second for the majority of it. He's still in second now. Third is Jamie Rushworth. Rushworth, the season 4 champion, very experienced at this racetrack. He's got his New Homes Digital teammate in Jamie Fluke acting shotgun in 4th position, managing to hold on from Stelian Chepelevsky in 5th. Then it's Russell Laidler, then David Baker, Kip Stevens, the 2P Newman cars, and then Alex Smolensky, all working their way around up towards Hawthorne's car, slowing down.
Jake Blackhall.
Jake Blackhall, who won a race, I think, back at Watkins Glen. He's turned around facing the wrong way, Alex.
Yeah, let's just have a quick look, see what that might have been. Just do a little replay. Just jump about where we're going into turn 2. It's just being pinched a little bit on the inside at the moment. Just see, he's just going to lose it coming around.
Contact with Dan Blake, it looks like.
Yeah, it is. Just actually both drivers heavily into the wall there as well. So didn't see Dan really drop down the timing sheets, but he is right down there as well with him. So yeah, major problems for those two.
Dan Blake, who races Hyundai Genesis in Club Series. He won a race and a third position at Thruxton last week. Ben Palmer, also a regular in the BSRTC. He's racing at Brands Hatch in real life this weekend in the Renault Clio Cup. Round to complete lap number 2. Sebastian Job continues to lead from Savidovic. Already quite a bit of a gap forming, 0.6 of a second. Sebastian Job, Alex, these last few weeks, he's really started to come into his own, and he seems to have got the knack of Wojciech Savidovic.
Yeah, he's absolutely flying out there at the moment. So he just seems to have found a rhythm in the car, and yeah, last time out he'll want to put some. He'll want to obviously sort out what happened last time. I remember he had a bit of a shocking race here when we were at the Indy circuit, so involved in a few incidents. So he definitely want to bounce back from that as well. So he's high on confidence right now, and you can see it showing.
Going down towards Hawthorns. Savidovic already falling behind. He did set the fastest lap of the race though last time around, but it doesn't seem to be helping him make any inroads on the iRacing World Championship driver. Russell Laidler starting to lose touch with his teammate Stelian Shepelevsky, and that's allowing David Baker to close in. Russell Laidler driving for GT Omega, and in 7th position David Baker, he's driving for Simpson Racing. David Baker, the season 7 champion, closing in on Russell Laidler through Sheen Curve, then down into Stirling's, the penultimate corner. Bit of a train forming here. We've got Russell Laidler, David Baker, Kip Stevens, Daniel Kraft, Simon Field and Alex Smolensky. This is 6th position all the way down to 11th on the racetrack. Then you've got Lee Thompson behind them in 12th, so he managed to get the better of Jerome Kaiser. Let's see if anything happens in this battle pack this time as they come across the line. David Baker not really close enough yet to get any sort of challenge on Russell Laidler through Paddock Hill Bend, but everyone keeping their cards close to their chest in these opening few laps. Alex, they're just willing to follow each other around the racetrack.
Good battle further back, and that is between the engine oil direct of car of John Roberts and Robert Fagg out there as well. So yeah, good drive from both of those guys at the moment.
All side by side here between the two STEM Sim racing cars, Steve Walker and Paul Smith. There was a bit of contact between these two at Druids Bend, between them and Laura Bond. Bond's been able to escape, but these two are still battling now as we head through Surtees and up towards Hawthorns. Over the top of the hill, very hard to get a Kia Optima to get going on the exit of that. Still side by side, they've been side by side for about a third of the lap now, and look at that, that is, who's that in the Pete Newman Media car with the green strips? That is Stephen Burke, down the inside into Hawthorns, and he's able to split the two Pete Newman Media cars as he runs wide, and that's going to allow Paul Smith an opportunity to go back down the inside. Very nearly contact there, and behind them that is Jay Wright in the Leo Bodnar car in 22nd position. He now has an opportunity to try and get past Paul Smith as well, and behind him Mark Johnston in the other Leo Bodnar car as well. Jay Wright just trying to find a way through at the moment as we head down towards Clearways, and look at Mark Johnson looking down the inside there into Clearways. Not really an overtaking spot, and behind them in the background Dan Hunt is on his way through the pack with Rob Fagg. They've both been able to get down the inside of Stanimir Zuzov as they come across the line. Hunt is through, but I wonder if Rob Fagg is going to be through. They rub door handles just a little bit there, him and Zuzov, but he is through now. Stanimir Zuzov in 26th position now, Fagg up to 25th, and Daniel Hunt up into 24th. These two are siving their way through the pack, Alex.
Yeah, Zuzov dropping like a stone there as well. I thought for a moment he was going to lose a place to John Roberts as well, but manages to hold on to that position. We might have Andrew Woodhouse back in action. I'm not sure. He just jumped in the channel. Are you there, Andrew?
Hope so.
Hey!
Hey.
I'll hand the reins back over to you, Andrew.
Yeah, you missed the start. It was an epic one. We didn't have any issue, but we have lost, unfortunately, Jake Blackwell and Dan Blake.
What have you done with him? Where did you leave him?
But he's well, he's in the pits now. So yeah, major damage on the front of that Apex Racing TV car there. So, but yeah, midfield is crazy at the moment. And yeah, like Adam said, over to you, buddy.
Great. And Daniel Hunt then into Dingledale is having a little look at Mark Johnston. We resume the battle. Adam was ever so eloquently describing as Robert Fagg tries to go up the inside there into, I think it's Hawthorne.
Oh, Jabe's gone. Oh, he's back. Phew.
Alex
just
had some kit.
I was about to say, you know how to get a team manager's heart going, don't you, mate?
Daniel Hunt then trying to get past past Mark Johnston into the first corner, round the outside of Paddock Hill Bend. That's going to be a very courageous move. He can get it done. Oh, he turns around Mark Johnston into the tyre and he flips over Daniel Hunt, and he gets hit by one of the Engine All Direct cars. And he hits another car. That was amazing how Daniel Hunt ended up flipping over. I thought he was clear of the incident, but it looked like the front of Mark Johnston just turned the rear of Daniel Hunt over, and Hunt, who looked like he was having a good comeback race, is out of the race, Andrew.
Yeah, it wasn't what he wanted at all. He started in 36th, he'd made his way up to 24th, and then he unfortunately came a cropper at Druids, so that's not what he wanted. Also, further back, Steve Richardson, Dan Blake. Did they have incidents at the start? Were they involved with Jake, was it?
Yeah, it was Dan Blake and Jake Blackwell that had the contact going on the exit of Graham Hill Bend. Jake Blackwell still in the pit lane and Dan Blake in 36th.
Job leads by half a second over Savidovic, with Rushworth in third and fourth for Jamie Fluke. Belin Chepelewski in fifth. Those guys, Alex, have distanced themselves a little bit from the rest.
Yeah, I think from the word go, really, they started to really stretch apart. So, unfortunately, New Home's digital cars just can't seem to keep up with Svidovic and Job. Those guys are so fast, we know that. We've seen that all through the season. But, yeah, Chepelewski as well, unfortunately, he got sort of shuffled back at the start too and hasn't been able to make his way back past the two Jamies ahead of him right now.
Into Druids field, ahead of the battling duo Smolinski and Dan Kraft. Kraft up the inside into Graham Hill Bend on Smolinski, and that's a clean move. And then Thompson's going to find his way through Adam as well.
Yeah, Thompson was a bit far behind this pack a few laps ago, but he's able to set a few good lap times, and he's now right with them and has been able to get past Alex Smolenski. I think there was a change of position there between Daniel Kraft and Simon Field as well, because I think Kraft was ahead of Field a few laps ago, but Lee Thompson's not wasting any time. He's already gone to the back of... that was close there, nearly another course panel incident there with Daniel Kraft through Hawthorns. Lee Thompson seems to be a man on a mission at the moment. We're on lap 7 of 14, half race distance already. Just drops a bit off the back of Daniel Kraft, but Thompson, with the speed that he's going at the moment, I'm sure he's going to be with him in a few corners time.
He's with him now through Dingledale then.
Also looks like there was some action going on just a little bit further back, but that's settled down as well now. Sorry about that. There's Paul Smith and Jay Wright, Steve Burke. They're all exchanging positions, looking at the timing screen, but they're really, really close together. 4 or 5 cars there, just nothing between them right now.
Yeah, Berg, Smith, Fag, Wright, Roberts, Zuzov and Newman down that back straight into clearways.
And your own Kaiser, sorry, side-by-side action as well. Just popped up on screen. That's
off goes
Hefford.
the 72, Steve Hefford.
And that allows Kaiser through, and in the background, side by side there, Laura Bond is getting passed by the pink car of Richard Gore. Richard Gore around the outside there. Laura Bond has just lost a position. She's now down to 18th. Steve Walker in 19th there, and the other STEM Sim racing car. This battle just on the outskirts of the top 20 and at the top of the reverse grid placings as well. Then look at this battle. We've got Stephen Burke, Paul Smith, Jay Wright, Robert Fagg. All these cars battling here, heading down towards Surtees. Paul Smith looking down the inside of Stephen Burke there. Stephen Burke, who was part of the 1-2-3 for Pete Newman Media the last time I think we were at Brands Hatch. Actually, no, back in season 8, so about a few 6 months ago now. Quite a long time since Pete Newman were 1-2-3. Paul Smith and Stephen Burke side by side towards Hawthorns. No way through though. He's going to try and get the cutback on the exit, Andrew.
Yeah, he's going to struggle there, is Paul. May try it into this fastest right-hander. You got a lot of run-off area there if you do run a bit wide. I did my first ever endurance race the other day with Paul as my teammate, Nakia at Monza. Finished second, and Paul's got the speed advantage on Stephen Burke here, Alex, but he's not able to make a move as of yet. But he needs to be careful because, again, we say it so often in this series, you make a move, you fail, you're in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just look at the pack that he's got behind him right now. It's crazy. So he needs to, if and when he does his move, although we've got Rob Fagg maybe just poking his nose out, might have a little look.
Oh, wide goes Burke, and Fagg's up the inside of Smith. Smith, he had a run on Burke, I think there, but he wasn't able to get alongside. Down the inside goes Fagg into Druids. He nudges the Pete Newman Media car slightly, but not able to make any headway.
Smith is through though. and back at the front.
Well, for now he is at least.
Side by side, sorry, with Dan Craft, I think it is. Yeah, side by side with Craft. Couldn't quite get the move done. Wants to have another little look at that. Very late on the brakes. Gets his nose chopped off there and has to get out of it. It's lost him a little bit of ground. He's got a bit of damage on the front right there. It doesn't look like it's affecting him at all though.
I'm not sure that was the greatest line ever in the back section of the circuit, but made that one. I'd say it didn't really make it work. The only way it made it work was it didn't crash. Baker, Stevens, and Laidler then, and also Simon Field battling over 6th place on the track. Russell Laidler started 6th.
Just checking back at the front of the pack. Look at this. Here comes Wojciech Savidovic. Sebastian Jobe did not get a good run through Paddock Hill Bend. The Season 6 champion looks to the outside. No way through there. He's practically pushing the Apex Racing TV car as we head down towards Graham Hill Bend. Sebastian Jobe on the defensive. This is what Wojciech Savidovic wants. And now here we go down towards 30s. Lap 10. We've still got 4 laps to go, but Savidovic is on it already. Through 30s and down towards Hawthorns, Andrew. Savidovic has slowly been reeling him in, and now he's right with Sebastian Jobe.
Yeah, and this battle, which really has been an exclusive one for the last few weeks, it's just these two in a league of their own, and showing why these are the favourites for this Engine All Direct British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. They're just inches away from each other through one of the fastest parts of the course, and Savidovic is still around the outside. He's not giving up.
God, this is like the British Superbikes. Hopkins and Tommy Hill a few years ago, and now finally they sort each other out. Sebastian Jobe still leading, but not for long, down towards Sterling's. He's on the defensive again through there. This is just allowing Savidovic to have the better straight line speed as we head down towards Clearways. When we get to the line, we'll be starting lap 11. 4 laps to go when we get to the line. Sebastian Jobe just pulls out a few car length or so on Wojciech Savidovic. 0.3 of a second will be the gap when they come across the line, but that was a very scary lap for Sebastian Jobe with Savidovic all over him, side by side for about a third of the lap as well.
Yeah, Savidovic didn't have the best line through Sterling's Bend, and that allowed Jobe to just get a car length or two ahead, which meant the slipstream into Clearways couldn't bring any fruit for the Polish driver in the Engine All Direct car. Then it's Jamie Rushworth and Jamie Fluke, the New Homes Digital, pretty close together, and also Chepelevsky on the back of this pack, Adam. Chappie started second. It's not been the best run for him again.
Yeah, Chepelevsky had a good run at Suzuka, I think. Finished in 2nd place in one of the races, and it's good to see him back up there because he hasn't really been up there at all this season. Hasn't taken a win yet, as far to my knowledge, yet for GTA Mega, and he'll be desperate to get that win, especially after racing 77 rounds of this championship. He's in the top 5 though. He's with the 2 New Homes Digital cars who have gone back to form, it looks like. Jamie Rushworth 2nd place to Sebastian Jobe in one of the races last week at Suzuka, so they seem to have got it sorted again because they haven't been on the best of form the last few race meetings.
No, and he's an excellent driver, is Stalin Chepelevsky, and having not won this season, you'd think he'd be suffering a bit out there, but he still plays well in the championship and not giving up, that's for sure. He's still got a sniff of a podium, but Savidovic still has a sniff of victory, except Jobe now moving slightly further ahead than he was even on the last lap. This time round, Jobe's lap time 129.665, Savidovic 129.746. Tiniest of margins, Alex, but at this stage even 1/10 of a second is significant.
Absolutely, 3 laps to go. Like you say, you can just keep edging that out for the next 3 laps. I was just going to say earlier on when you were talking about these two, how often do we see Jobe just pull a little bit away towards the early part of the race when these two are battling, and then Savidovic comes back towards the end? He just seems to be able to hold his tyres in just a little bit better than the young Apex Racing TV driver, and I think that's why he's won so many races this season when they've gone head to head. I mean, it's pretty equal, but still, I just can think Savidovic has just nipped him a couple of times this season, so he's looking to do it again. It looked like he got a bit closer again, 0.3 of a second the gap.
Yeah, through Sheen Curve. Fairly close, Savidovic again. This is the section, Adam, where he showed his strength last time.
Yeah, he's definitely closed in a bit this time. 0.2 of a second the gap Through Sheen Curve now, down towards Sterling's. Look how much curb they take there. If you take too much, you will get an incident point, and in some cases that could lead to a slowdown. Savidovic, though, right with Sebastian Joe towards Clearways. When we get to the line, we'll be starting the penultimate lap, lap number 13 of 14 here in race 1 at Brands Hatch. Through Clearways now, Savidovic doesn't have the best straight line speed, it looks like. Let's see if he can use the slipstream of the Apex Racing TV car. Sebastian Jobe moving over just to go onto the racing line towards Paddock Hill Bend.
Paddock Hill.
What did I say?
through there they go. And Savidovic having a look into Druids. Can he make? No, he can't. So
I think it's coming down to a last lap thing, Andrew.
where's it going to be, Adam? Where do you think he's going to make the move? Because he's been stalking him for 2-3 laps now.
I think it's really going to have to be...
Could be now.
Could be now, yeah. Looking down the inside.
Wide entry into Surtees, Alex. And it's a tough corner, that, isn't it, up the hill?
Very tough. One that I've never really been able to just master the line on. One of the areas of the track that I just seem to struggle with. So yeah, these guys doing a great job around there, and it looked like Savidovic just had a little bit of a better run than Jobe out of the corner, but still not able to make anything of it.
Oh, he's
on
very
board.
good.
Yeah, just on board there for a second as well. He closed up big time under braking there, like you said.
Oh, he's hit the grass.
And that's not something we see often from Wojciech Savidovic.
That's race over, I'm sure.
Surely, yeah. Well, Savidovic had his chance a few laps ago, but I think it's going to be a tough ask for him to close in those 0.7 of a second in a lap.
He's only lost about half a second, actually, hasn't he? And it looked like, I think maybe in the camera angle I had personally, but yeah, it looked like it was a much worse loss of time for him than that. But yeah, he'll still find it difficult. On to the final lap then in Kent.
Great battle starting to form up there with 1 lap to go. Of course, Kip Stevens, Simon Field, Lee Thompson, Dan Croft, Baker ahead of them. So yeah, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th place all battling out. It's pretty tasty right now.
I believe Stevens won here last time we were at Brands Hatch, Adam, on the Indy circuit.
Thompson very late on the brakes.
Oh,
on the inside of 2.
Oh, that was
ambitious.
Very forceful, and now they're 3 wide towards Graham Hill Bend. And they survived it, and Stevens survived the assault from Thompson. What do you make of that, Alex?
Well, I don't think Lee was going for 2 places there. I think he just wanted Field. But as it turned out, he had no choice but to try and get on the inside of Kip there as well.
I've got to say,
still great battle. I mean, they all managed to avoid absolute carnage, which
I was about to say it was great driving from Stevens to not get taken out there. It really was. Now this has all come back together, but it's now at the front. And Savidovic might have a sniff at him, you know. Coming into the last corner, Clearways. Adam, are you still there, mate?
No, we lost him. He's gone.
No, I think
disconnected.
we've lost him, so it's his turn for the Gremlins. But Sebastian Jobe's going to come across. He's going to take the win by half a second from Savidovic. That's important for that showdown, which is coming very, very shortly. Just a few weeks. Laidler now coming across in 6th, ahead of Dave Baker, and then it was Stevens, then Thompson in 8th. Sorry, Thompson 9th. Field was 10th. Dancraft in 11th and Smolenski in 12th. And then they're still going for it in the midfield. And at the back, look at this battle between Newman, Wright, Janowski and Whitehead, is that?
It is Whitehead. I'm looking at one a little bit further back as well. He's got Nash, Charlie Sears in there, Rob Plumley as well. Looks like Plumley trying to get something on the line.
It was close.
Yeah, that's with Rob Graham. It was close, but yeah, no cigar.
Plumley just, 0.073 behind Robert Graham, so that's how close that was. Sears a further 0.4 behind, then half a second to Nash, half a second to Cole. And then Mark Johnston beat John Roberts by 0.36. That was a close fight for 32nd place, Alex, that one.
They all count, don't they?
Yeah, they do. That's the thing. But that's the thing, you know, John Roberts there. One place he won't get for the AM category.
He must have had some problems that we didn't see on camera because he's had a pit stop as well. So something went on with John. He was fighting a lot further up earlier on. So yeah, some sort of problems for him. Outside the reverse grid, definitely seen his lead in the AM Championship dwindle somewhat. It's only 29 points, I think it was when we checked it earlier on. So yeah, he's going to need to have two really good races now in the end for this rest of this race meeting. Otherwise, I think he could see his lead in the championship vanish completely.
So the complete results then for round 1 of the evening here at the Brandt Hatch Grand Prix circuit. Sebastian Job won the race by 0.334 from Wojciech Savidovic. Jamie Rushworth was in 3rd, completing the podium for New Homes Digital. Jamie Fluke in 4th, Stelin Chepalewski 5th. Then Rusty Laidler in 6th, Dave Baker 7th. Kip Stevens in 8th, Lee Thompson 9th. And rounding out the top 10 was Simon Field. Adam, are you back?
Yeah. Don't know what happened there. Sebastian Job, judging from what you've just said, has taken another win, so that's his 4th consecutive race victory. Don't think we've ever seen that.
That's reassuring for our Blancpain race at the weekend. Your connection.
Oh dear. Hopefully not.
Alex, can you please find this man better internet for next week?
Oh, I think it's a better system I need.
Oh no.
It's all on the uni, isn't it? So yeah, I'm not sure
Yeah,
what we can
true.
do there.
So much for a media university. Oh dear, the media doesn't work. Anyway, reverse grid, Alex. So 15th down to 26th it is. And Steve Hefford in 15th. Matt Walker 16th, 17th for Laura Bond, 18th for Steve Walker, Richard Gore 19th. Then it's Robert Fagg in 20th, Paul Smith 21st, 22nd for Pete Newman. Then Andrew Whitehead, Jay Wright, Julian Janowski, and just scraping in there, Adam, by 0.073 seconds was Robert Graham.
Robert Graham, yeah, well, Laser Tools, they've had race victories with Alex Smolensky this season. I wonder if they'll be able to get a race victory in race 2. It'll all depend, though, on what number the Wheel of Fortune falls on. So,
Yes.
over to Alex, who's going to find out now who's going to be on pole position for race 78 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship.
Yep, here we go then. Wheel of Fortune up on screen. Like you say, who's going to get it? Everything's reset from the last race meeting. We'll start on 15. Let's spin the wheel, see what we get. Is it going to... 23, quite a simple 23.
Andrew Whitehead is going to be onto pole position then, the one-time race winner. Pete Newman 2nd, Paul Smith 3rd, Richard Gore 4th, Rob Fagg 4th, and Richard Gore in 5th. Steve Walker 6th, Laura Bond 7th, Matt Walker 8th, Steve Hefford 9th. Colin Cunniff 9th, and Jerome Kaiser in 10th. So all of those guys in the top 10, Andrew, a top 5 or possibly even a win will be a fantastic result for them.
Yeah, it's big for them at this point in the season, and a lot of, there's some AM drivers in there. Paul Smith, Richard Gore, Laura Bond, I believe Hefford as well. So, it's important, Alex, for them to get a good result, because remember that AM category has a showdown of its own.
Absolutely, we often obviously focus towards the front, but we have to think about that AM category. As we said, it's getting quite close. There's a couple of little battles going on there. One for obviously the overall lead in the championship, and then the fight for the top 5 at the moment. It is really close in there. So I think we'll probably need to have a big focus on the teams that are just sort of on the bubble. Moving into the next rounds, as we're getting really, really close to the point where everything switches over to the showdown style. What we'll do is when we're off air in the break, we'll have a quick look and see and try and work out what people need to do to get themselves into the showdown.
So that was race 77, is that right?
77
of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. We've had a great race 1 here at Brandt Hatch, and we'll catch you just after the break here on Motors TV. Don't go anywhere. Stick with us.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside contact, mate. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's gonna be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be into stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
welcome back to Motors TV and iRacing Live for round 78 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship with Engine Oils Direct. Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath and Alex Simpson with you, bringing you live coverage of race 2 of the evening. Alex, it was the 4th consecutive win for Sebastian Jobe in race 1. What can he do to try and do that again?
Well, 4 wins in a row, that's definitely a new record. Definitely haven't seen that before. I mean, just amazing performance again, come under a lot of pressure. Relatively large reverse grid we saw. It was a lot harder to overtake this week than we've seen from Suzuka as well. So I think he's going to really struggle to try and get a 5th one in the row. But you never know what might happen. Could have some major start incident, caution flag could come out and he might pick up a bunch of places there, but I think it's going to be a really, really tough job to do that again.
Adam, Jobe is, he could win 5 races in a row and it truly would be a historic moment, but you've got to remember he starts behind Savidovic for this one. However, Savidovic, historically not known to be as good a starter as the Englishman.
No, and at race 2 at Suzuka last week, he ends up getting in all sorts of trouble with a person that is not on the grid this week, Ashley Sutton. So, Savidovic, hopefully he should be able to keep his nose clean the first few laps and either stay in front of Sebastian Jobe or stay with him. Let's have a look at the grid then for the second race of the evening. 23 cars reversed. Andrew Whitehead on pole position, Pete Newman 2nd, Paul Smith 3rd, Robert Fagg 4th, Richard Gore 5th, Steve Walker 6th, Laura Bond 7th, Matt Walker 8th, Steve Hefford 9th, and in 10th it is Colin Cunniff. 11th it is Jerome Kaiser, 12th Alex Malensky, 13th Daniel Kraft, 14th Simon Field, 15th Lee Thompson, 16th Kip Stevens, 17th David Baker, 18th Russell Laidler, 19th Stanislav Chepelevsky, 20th Jamie Fluke, 21st Jamie Rushworth with a podium for him, 22nd Wojciech Savidovic, and then 23rd our race on winner Sebastian Jobe, 24th Jay Wright, 25th Julian Janowski, 26th Robert Graham, 27th Robert Plumley, 28th Charles Sears, 29th James Nash, 30th Sean Cole, 31st Dan Blake, involved in contacts with Jake Blackhall on lap number 1. On lap 2, 32nd Mark Johnston, 33rd John Roberts, 34th Steve Richardson, and then the cars 1 lap down or more. Stephen Burke 35th, he was disqualified. 36th Stanimir Zuzov, 37th Daniel Hunt after that contact in a big way with Mark Johnston, and then 38th on the grid it is Jake Blackhall.
It's funny, Adam, isn't it, how we're considering this 37 car field to be somewhat small, but it's been the case following Suzuka and Spa and all the other ones that we've had 50 cars.
Yeah, it's quite a small grid considering 38 cars compared to the 60 we had at Spa and similar numbers at Suzuka, and then racing at the other venues as well. Let's look at this, 3 New Homes digital cars going 3 wide nearly into Hawthorne Bend. Oh, a bit of contact there, and off goes Laura Bond. But yeah, huge grids in the BSRTC, and this is what makes Sebastian Jobe's achievement, 4 wins in a row, so staggering.
Yeah, and again, we keep banging on about the 5th win potentially, but it's not often that happens. Alex, we've got a minute before the start. For those new viewers who are watching the series for the first time, I mean, what makes this series so special in terms of touring car racing, in terms of its position in the world of sim race?
Yeah, well, obviously the only to talk about the only league ever to have put up a prize pool of $10,000. So it's not generated by iRacing or anything like that. It's just all league provided. So awesome prize money up for grabs, split across lots of different championships. So the AM, the Pro, and the Team as well. So. But there's good competition throughout the grid as well. Each week you can guaranteed you'll have someone to race with. So the pack does seem quite close together, but just the nature of the car, racing is always really, really tight from front to back of the grid. And if you don't mind getting your elbows, sticking your elbows out and getting to tuck in, it's it's good touring car action. It's going to be a little bit scrappy in places because that's just how these races are when you're 2 or 3 wide everywhere and there's cars 5 cars in front of you less than a second and the same behind as well. So it's good fun action. It is it is what it is on like you see on screen, and if you enjoy what you see, then sign up, head over to BritishSimRacers.com and you can get involved.
We're about to get involved here at Brands Hatch. Race 2's underway, and it didn't look like Whitehead got a great getaway, and he might be in trouble because Pete Newman is already alongside and he's going to poke his nose in front of his... Oh, goodness me, what's that?
Just one of the Laser Toys cars off. I thought it was going to be a bit bigger than that, but Whitehead's continued. Yeah, it did. But it looks like everyone's been able to make it through apart from that Laser Toys car. Whitehead remains in the lead for now. Second place, it is Pete Newman. Third, Smith. Fourth, Fag. Fifth, Walker. Sixth, Cunniff. Seventh, Kaiser, as Hefford runs out wide. Another the Laser Toys car, and it comes back on the racetrack and it turns around Laura Bond. Bond facing the rest of the pack. Everyone able to avoid her, but that was another big incident there. Only 2 cars involved. That was very scary.
One of the... Oh, the Bondner cars hitting Plumley, and that's...
Jay Wright, I think.
Oh,
he was out of control.
Sebastian Joe.
And speaking of out of control, it's a massive one on the back straight there. That's
a few
big
cars
one.
flipping over. That's
Nash,
one of
Nash, I think it is, yeah.
Stanimir Zuzov.
Oh, man.
However, just side by side, Sebastian Job and Wojciech Savidovic, they've been side by side for about a third of the lap. I had a camera on them right at the start of the race. Savidovic is just going to hold on in front of Sebastian Job, and I think that's what Savidovic wants, but Job's still on the attack already. This is only lap number 1 of the race. Into Stirling's Bend, Sebastian Job's going to get a fantastic run on the exit. Down towards Clearways, Andrew.
And this is the battle, isn't it? This is the one that we thought would happen. We didn't think maybe it'd happen this early. Savidovic and Job, then Savidovic has the shorter run. Alex into Paddock Bend. It's not the easiest place to make a pass or to defend one, but Savidovic has to run it very deep into the corner.
Great move.
Not deep enough, because Job is through. He goes a bit wide on the exit, but it's just his pace is just absolutely stupendous in the first few laps.
That's it, we see this time and time again, and Savidovic really there all race long, and I think these two are just going to slice their way through. Oh, Chepalewski just getting into a little something with, is that Rushworth ahead of him? Yeah, it was.
May have had a slowdown there, Chepalewski, I'm not sure.
Sticking his nose in on Rushworth as well, just a little bit too far back to do that. Chepalewski's coming under a little pressure from Field, and Field's got Jamie Fluke just behind him as well. Let's focus our attention a little bit further forward as well, because Pete Newman closing back in on Andrew Whitehead, and he's got Rob Fagg just behind him too.
Job having a look at Rushworth as well. I'm just keeping one eye on that one with the championship contenders all involved here.
At the same
Adam, any ideas why Rushworth isn't on the pace maybe as much as he was in previous seasons?
Well, I think the quality of Savidovic and Joe Rushworth, season 4 champion, let's not forget, and he's been runners-up season 5 as well to Ade Coba Lopez, so he is still a top quality driver, still takes the occasional win like he did at Silverstone a few months ago, but it's just that little bit extra that he just needs to get past the likes of Joe and Savidovic. Let's remind everyone that there is a battle going on for the lead as the back markers come back onto the racetrack. Paul Smith goes very wide there. Andrew Whitehead continues to lead. Second place, it is Pete Newman. Third, Rob Fagg. Fourth, Paul Smith. Fifth, Steve Walker. Sixth, Colin Cunniff. Seventh, Sharon Kaiser. Eighth is Alex Smolensky. Ninth, Lee Thompson. And Kip Stevens rounds out the top 10 as Pete Newman sets his sights on Andrew Whitehead. Has a little bit of a look to the inside. No way through there. Only on lap 3 though, so there's still plenty of time for Pete Newman to get the move done. His team took a 1-2-3 here a season or so ago.
And look, the Eurochip digital car of Robert Fagg is now interested in second place behind Pete Newman, and this is allowing Whitehead to lead fairly comfortably. Alex, he'll be delighted with that because he's just won one race in his career and he's going to go for a second one, but Fagg and Newman battling can play to his hands.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to need these guys to carry on battling as well. And
here they go.
Rob's got a good run though. Squeezes squeezes Newman a little bit wide there, and yeah, Newman just dipped the rear wheels there onto the grass as he was trying to brake, and the rest is history. As you said, he did well to collect that back up. He's under pressure now from Paul Smith, though. Smith going to try and go around the outside. No, maybe
great cutback.
Yeah, great little cutback, like you say. Got a good run out of there as well. Surely he's going to have this move complete by the time he reaches turn 1.
Smith in the inside line here, diving into Paddock Hill Bend and through as they head down the hill towards Druids, and Newman is going to try and get that position back, but Smith very late on the brakes. Is it too late? No, he manages to get it stopped, the Oxman. Good stuff. And that is the friction racing machine of Colin Cunniff in behind Steve Walker. Walker into Newman at Graham Hill.
And that's going to allow 1-2 cars through. Newman all over that bump. And back on the racetrack, there's that bump on the exit, and I think Pete Newman just showed it right there. He's now lost another position to the Laser Tools car of Alex Smolensky, so down to about 7th or 8th position. But look at this battle for lead, side by side. Rob Fag down the inside of Andrew Whitehead into Hawthorns. Down the inside he goes, but he runs wide, and Andrew Whitehead could get the position back. No, he's just not quick enough. So Rob Fag is now our new race leader.
Rob Fag cultivating some serious hay at the moment as flying away from Andrew Whitehead.
I think there's been a contact there between Pete Newman and Alex
He's gone over the
Smolensky.
inside though, sorry. Fag just went over the inside of Dingledale and he was very, very close to getting a slowdown. Sorry, carry on.
I was just going to say there's a contact. Yeah. Alex was going to say something there, but here comes the rest of the pack. Sebastian Job side by side there with his teammate Richard Gore. He's through, and then after that he can set his sights on Kip Stevens. So Sebastian Job, I think, up to 12th position now, gained practically half the positions already, and we're only 4 laps into the race as they come across the line.
Going to find the win exceptionally difficult even from here, I think, but Jeroen Kaiser in 7th place. He's having to fend off the Laser Tools car of Smolensky, and Kaiser's turned a little bit here and he's going to lose the momentum badly, Alex, there.
Yeah, big time. We were on board actually with Smolensky as he comes steaming in onto into the hairpin there, and this is a bit scary just coming out of that. I thought for a minute we were going to have some cars ricocheting all over the place, but fortunately everybody keeps the point forward.
Job side by side with Kip Stevens through Surtees, and it was a really, really nicely judged move by Sebastian Job, but Stevens isn't going to give this one up. He's a double champion here in the BSRTC. He's going to keep the inside line through Sheen, and then
round the outside of 2 cars.
He's gone off though as Job, but has he managed to get round Baker? I think no, not quite. He's got so much pace here, Job, it's ridiculous. As he's hitting David Baker now, I'm sure.
And look at this, look at the amount of cars he's been able to put between himself and Wojciech Savidovic. That is the pace of Sebastian Job right there. He's put about 6 or 7 cars between them as we head down towards Clearway. So Savidovic is just able to get past the GT Mega car there. Russell Laidler around the outside he goes into Clearway. Savidovic trying to get those positions back. Look at the speed he carried through that final corner. Just swoops past the GT Mega car. Russell Laidler, he's up another position. At the same time, Stelian Shepelevsky down the inside of Simon Field. Field's going to try and go around the outside of the GT Mega car. Very close there. Field puts 2 wheels into the gravel.
I think there was contact to the hairpin.
Sorry, Russell Laidler got way out of shape there. And Sebastian Job still side by side with Baker again, Andrew.
And Baker having to defend here, season 7 champion. He's got the season 1 and 2 champion behind him, Sebastian Job as well. So the champion sandwich through Surtees. Baker's going to try and just force him off the optimal line. And Stevens might have a run here, Alex. Goodness me, off goes Baker.
He's off. Job's
hard
off.
into the wall. Job's off as well. That's got championship implications.
The 5
Shepelevsky's on the grass.
Well, there's no chance of 5 consecutive wins now for Sebastian Job. It looked like it could have been possibly on the cards as off goes the...
Shepelevsky's in trouble. Well. Fluke's off.
And side by side there, Stephen Burke side by side with the Laser Tools car.
Job's just hit the edge of no direct car. He's trying to get that battered Apex car back to the pits.
Needs to try and be careful. That could be a penalty for Sebastian Job going into the next race meeting. Stewards will probably investigate it. It's more contact there. Daniel Hunt and Robert Graham going into Stirling's. It's all kicked off here in race number 2.
Alex, what's going to these guys?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Seb, I think they're perhaps just a little bit optimistic there, and it looked like Baker was going to close the door and he wanted to keep his nose in there. And I'm just unfortunate, I think, like you say, Colin Cunniff and Paul Smith battling out there as well. But that little instant with all the checking up and everything else that went on there for everybody trying to miss that is just that little mid-patch just gone nuts.
Smith is off, and just off just enough to allow Cunniff to have the inside into Surtees. And Smith decides to give him a little helping hand. You're not going fast enough, son.
Already halfway through this race. Here comes Colin Cunniff and Paul Smith.
And Newman as well. Pete Newman's having a good meeting.
This is the battle for the podium positions. Colin Cunniff leading them in 3rd position, then it's Smith in 4th, then Pete Newman in 5th. They're not closing in on Andrew Whitehead just yet as they head down towards Sheen Curve. Halfway through the race, this is lap number 7. Newman in 5th, through Sheen Curve and down towards Stirling's. He's then got the Simpson racing car of Steve Walker behind. Then it's Jerome Kaiser in the Engine Oils Direct car. Then it's Alex Smolensky for Laser Tools. And then Lee Thompson, the leading Apex Racing TV car. Then it's the 2 new Homes Digital cars of Kip Stevens in 10th position. Then 11th, Jamie Rushworth. And then Wojciech Savidovic there, who can't quite believe his luck after seeing Sebastian Jobe disappear, getting 5 cars between them. And now he has got quite a good advantage with Sebastian Jobe now down the order indeed. As off goes wide there, Richard Gore. The battle still continues over 3rd.
Kaiser shoving Steve Walker into the hairpin. Kaiser's through. So the Dutchman ahead of the man who won this race here last season.
Middle race always seems to be the one that you absolutely want to avoid to have any kind of issue, because you just absolutely compromise for the rest of the race meeting as well. There's just no chance to get back into a reasonable place, is there, for the final race? No. You can't get into a reverse grid place for the next one. So yeah, so that's, like you say, that's got major implications for Sebastian. Of course, he's won enough races that he doesn't have to worry, I would think, about a top 10 place, but it could drop him down, and he still needs those podium credits and things like that to start that off. So yeah, I think maybe he'll look back at that and think he was perhaps a little bit hasty there.
We were
race 2. Sorry.
We were just saying that how close it is in the championship from 6th down to 10th, and a result from like this for Sebastian Jobe, yeah, could push him from around 5th or 6th where he was in the standings all the way down to possibly 8th, 9th or 10th.
His only saving grace could be the absence of Andreas Katz, who's AWOL the last couple of weeks.
Getting a bit tasty close. Pete Newman now starting to close back in on Paul Smith. Ducking out, just having a little look. Is he going to be able to get a run side by side? Late on the brakes as well for Pete. Great move.
Yeah, through into paddock. Smith looking for a riposte, but can he find one into Druids? He's always late. Oh my god, it's a friction car.
Colin Cunniff, I don't know whether the throttle stuck or something. He literally went straight on at a full rate of knots. The engine was flat out into the tyre barrier. I've never seen that.
I'm just going to watch that back on replay now. See what's gone on. Yeah, let's go on board. Just like saying, see.
He's gone flat out.
He is changing down the gears, Adam, but the throttle stayed on. I don't know if you got that, Alex, from on board.
Yeah, just looking now. So. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Like you say, gas on. He just goes flying.
And
he
was shifting.
Yeah. He was lucky he didn't blow the engine before he hit the wall.
Well, he did after he hit the wall. But again, he's downshifting there. He's trying his best to get that car stopped, and nothing. So massive one for Cunniff, and that was costing him a podium, Adam. He must be gutted with that.
Yeah, he was pulling away from them as well, so it looked like a 3rd place was going to be on the cards. But now it means that Andrew Whitehead is still in 2nd place, but in 3rd position now it is Pete Newman, who was in 5th at the beginning of the lap, so he can't quite believe his luck. At the same time, Paul Smith battling away with Jerome Kaiser, who seems to do well when we're racing in England, and now he's side by side with Paul Smith over a possibility of a 4th position here. Down the straight we go, over the line, now on to lap number 10. Down the inside goes Kaiser into Paddock Hill bend, and he has the place. Has he got the place? Yes, he has.
Yes.
Kaiser through.
Good run from your own Kaiser up to 4th position. And Thompson having a little look on Smolensky, but he's not really making any inroads.
No, I think he's just being patient, Isley, as well. He knows he's right in that position as well in the top 10, and
patience has run out, has it, for Thompson? He looks at the inside of Surtees.
Of course, Smolensky's ahead of him in the championship. He's got Kip just a few places back from him as well. Rushworth's around there, so all the people that he needs to beat are right around him now as well. So he's I think he's, like you say, does want to get by, but it's not going to do anything too risky to do it.
Robert Fagg's 5 seconds in front for Eurochip Digital, and for a new team, Adam. It's good to see them on getting some exposure and getting some time in the lead, because Fagg's been outstanding in the second half of this season.
Yeah, taking wins of Watkins Glen and a few others as well, so he seems to have definitely got it sorted. As off goes Thompson! Thompson into the tyre barrier there at Sterling, so I don't think that'll do any damage to the car. Possibly, maybe he'll even.
Oh, he
hits
damaged Simon
Field.
Field's car.
And he bounces back onto the racetrack, and he hits one of the.
He's gone.
Hits Simon Field, hits one of the New Homes digital car.
Oh no!
Did I just commentate cursing perfectly there? I think so. Apologies, Lee.
But I think that might be 2 penalties going Apex Racing TV's way.
There's a car over in Clearways. Car on his roof in Clearways. Jake Blackwell.
Oh, just watching it back on replay now with what happened to Lee. Oh, he like say just ran out wide. I'm not sure if he got tagged or anything like that. But then, just as he returns to the circuit, there's a car. Pete Newman media car's already there, and then of course it's just bouncing around, and that's it. Goodbye.
Dan Blake's, I think, took a bit of problem there. Jamie Fluke, Alex, I don't know if you can watch that quickly, but
oh yeah, exactly. And Jake Blackwell caught that. I guess that was the remnants of what was happening with Lee. So major carnage there.
If you can see, Jamie Fluke gets turned over. He's up on he's on his roof.
Yep.
And he gets hit by Blackwell and Blake, and that's where Blackwell ends up rolling off into the fence.
Yeah, crazy. So major. I mean, I'm just looking at the people that have pit stops in this race. We're pretty much everybody from 19th down has been in the pits or is now retired. So
where's Joe?
Very
25th.
Very scrappy. Yeah, 23rd now. Paul Smith as well, dropping down the order. What's going on with Paul Smith? Oh no, he's back. So he's having some connection problems out there, and it makes the timing screen go absolutely crazy. But Smolensky was having a quick little look on the Stim Cemex car there.
Job's doing pretty decent lap times, but probably got fresh tyres and everything.
He's in the reverse grid spaces though. He's managed to get himself in there, but that's more down to what else has gone on in this race, I think, rather than that, because we just lost about another 4 or 5 cars in that incident.
And you know what the thing is? He could very easily get a reverse grid and then be about 15 places in front of Wojciech.
Yeah. Very possible.
And that's just one of those things, Adam, isn't it? It's not nothing intentional ever, but it's just.
I think we lost Adam just for a little moment again.
Again, it's just the nature of the series, Alex, isn't it? You can get a bit of luck with the reverse grid. That's why touring cars are so exciting, because it's never an exact science.
No, exactly. How many times do you see crazy stuff can happen in the BTCC as well? It's not always straightforward, great racing. You know, you can have crashes here and there, and anything can happen. And sometimes ours is perhaps a little bit more chaotic, but not much.
Just how good has Robert Fagg been since Watkins Glen?
Yeah, brilliant actually. I mean, this is just masterclass at the moment. He didn't qualify too well in the first race, but still had a reasonable result. And he's just banging in the lap times now, quicker than anybody else at the moment. Fastest lap come up on the screen not too long ago. Last lap was a 1:30.2. Sorry, what did he do this time?
Just on a 0.1.
Yeah, 0.1. So consistent pace as well. He's like 0.7 of a second faster than Whitehead behind him. So
the lead's now 7.1 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think we could curse him into losing this one, but I won't say anything too much.
Tell you what, it's a pretty big win, isn't it, for him? He's in seconds-wise.
Yeah, we don't see many wins that big. Svidovic and Rushworth side by side as well. That's for 8th and 9th place there. Svidovic, I think, has just picked up the place, has he? I don't know. Although Rushworth fighting around the outside.
Around the outside, using all the track and more. The advised part of the track, anyway, he's used as he's trying to sweep around the outside. Oh yes. That looked really good through Surtees. He managed it. Oh, he twitched a bit on the exit, and as that stopped his momentum sufficiently, Svidovic is going to get a tiny bit of a slipstream down the hill, Pilgrim's Drop. And yes, Rushworth retains that position. Fluke's going to join the party as well, along with Laidler.
Yeah, good little mid-pack battle this has been actually. Big gap behind Richard Gore to Dan Hunt, who's in 13th place. So Richard's got nothing to worry about. He's perhaps just waiting and see if anything's going to kick off. Extra, pick up a few more places.
Speaking of things kicking off, interesting battle on the track for 22nd and 23rd. David Baker and Sebastian Job. Round 2. Ding ding.
They're at it again.
Let Gonzalez have a good clean fight this time. And Job's closing in massively on that Stem Cimex car, and this is important. Always good to get a few extra points, but it's going to be
It could be the difference between pole position and 23rd position,
Oh,
couldn't
no
it?
way.
That's the thing. So
You were, don't you? That's the thing. Look at this battle with Smith, Walker, Rushworth, Stevens, Savinovic, Laidler and Gore. Steve Walker's just going to take his teammate here, I think.
yeah, I think Smith's.
Oh, no,
Smith.
he's taking him all right. Taking him out. What was that?
Oh,
No. That's just bloody stupid.
Who was that was gone rolling with them as
Steve
well?
Walker giving
Jamie. Let's Kip upside down as well on his roof. So
that I'm just going to come out and say that was stupid from Steve Walker shoving the man off the track.
yeah, that was yeah.
I mean, Paul Smith will be happy because he's kept his 6th place, but and it's a win for Robert Fagg as he comes around clearways, and it's a win for Eurochip Digital as well.
Yeah, congratulations to Rob. It's his 2nd on screen, but that's just because Kip's reset back to the pits. That will change to 1st as he crosses the line. There we go. Congratulations to him.
Again. And I'll tell you what, when he's won races, there was the one Whitehead 2nd, Newman 3rd, Kaiser 4th, 5th for Smolensky, and then it is Smith, Savinovic, Laidler. Rusty Laidler made 4th place on the last lap. He's finished 8th, 9th for Rushworth, 10th for Gore. Steve Walker is out. So Dan Hunt finished 11th and he was miles behind that battle. Jay Wright 12th, 13th is going to come across Dan Blake, then Plumley, then John Roberts 15th. That's great points for him. Steve Richardson 16th, and then Dan Kraft in 17th, 18th for Hereford, 19th Sebastian
Job.
Baker in 20th, Matt Walker 21st. And then, the rest of the reverse grids is going to be. It'll be Nash in 22nd. I think Robert Graham was out on that last lap as well, so it's going to be James Nash. Jake Blackwell.
Jake Blackwell 22nd. Yeah, James Nash 23rd, 24th. Who's going to come across the line? 24th position. Yes, Chepelevsky's the next car to come across the line. So 24th is Chepelevsky.
Just see how it can all change. Simon Field
25th is going to be 25th, yep.
And then who's 26th?
Will it be the last? Yeah, Steve Walker. Who's a lap down, so
he could get reverse grid pole after being an idiot.
Wow. Well, Sebastian Job I'm most amazed by. He was outside the top 30 on lap 5. Or lap 6, and now he's back. He's finished inside the top 20, 19th position. So we get a low reverse grid. Number 19, from my memory, seems to come up quite a bit. He could be on pole position again.
Should we get that over with, Alex? The reverse grid draw?
Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
Because I want to dissect a couple of those incidents that went on.
Well, we'll leave the sim up in the background then. Let's let's do
Don't
this.
close the sim. Come on. That would have been good, wouldn't it? Oh dear.
Right, here we go. It's been one of those days, I tell you. And just well, we've seen enough crashes. We could have just had it crash on us there. It would have piled up perfectly. Right, here we go. Wheel of Fortune. Where are we going to land up? 17's come up again. 23. Oh, it might be 19th. Oh, it is 19th.
Oh.
It's not rigged, I promise you.
Adam! Sebastian Job.
Oh. Well, there you go.
So well done for his 5th win in 6 races.
Sebastian Job takes pole position. He just needs to get a good start, I think. Steve Hefford 2nd. Come on, challengers. Let's try and challenge Sebastian Job.
But,
Steve Hefford 2nd on the grid. Daniel Kraft in 3rd. Steve Richardson 4th. John Roberts 5th. Robert Plumley 6th. Dan Blake 7th. Jay Wright 8th. Daniel Hunt in 9th. And then Richard Gore in 10th position. So Savinovic is able to pull out a bit of an advantage on Joe by finishing 7th. But race 3 though, different sort of matter entirely.
So this is the one thing where they're all sort of are a bit contradictory, because Savinovic's reward for not crashing is that he starts 12 places behind his championship rival, Alex. There you go.
Yeah, I know. Just crazy. So I'm sure we'll get a bit of
might be. I mean,
from that on the chat saying it must be rigged, but yeah, I promise you it's not.
I don't know if this is a just Adam. I mean, you know more about the series than I do, but do you think it's about time that the fast tow was removed because of incidents, things like this?
I wonder if they'll invoke a new rule when the showdown begins. of no
race
fast.
ending crash for Job, which would have ordinarily been a too much damage, you're done type thing, and he's come and finished 19th. And okay, look, he's finished 19th on merit because the rest of them have crashed off afterwards, and there's a lot of retirements there, but it does sort of make you wonder a little bit. Alex, can we go back and see the original carnage with Seb and Dave Baker? Is that possible?
Yeah, let's see if I can find that
On
on my
lap
list
6, I believe.
of incidents.
Yeah, it's lap 6 coming out of Surtees.
Yeah. Well, start from the beginning of the lap, I think.
Best. Let's see what we get here.
Oh, I tell you, not a lot Seb can do there. Goodness sake.
I think we're not quite far enough back. Yeah, that's after the incident that goes off again there. So let's jump it back a bit further. Should we go on board with him? See what it was.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so we're side by side right now with Baker then. He is clearly alongside, but Baker has got the run and Baker does squeeze across. Oh, I don't know, I might have to retract what I said earlier, that he might have been a far enough across that Baker is asking for a quarter panel by squeezing him there.
I think
and we
Seb's
know
the
how
actual
bad
victim.
we know how bad those quarter panel incidents are, and by squeezing there, he just risked that too much. I mean, I think Seb could have seen him coming over and just got out of it, if I'm
Well, he
honest,
might have lost
as
the
well.
place.
Well, yeah, but he lost 10.
Oh no, he did. I'm not. Don't worry. I'm not opposing that. But
But I do think Baker is probably every bit to blame there, especially knowing what you know about the car. That if you get a tag on the rear quarter panel, your race is done. He risked everything to try and block him off there, and
especially on a high-speed circuit like Brands Hatch.
Yeah, I think it was just too much. Let's see if we can get a slightly different view of it. It's not far enough back, I think. Let's go back a bit further.
Can we get the last lap as well, possibly?
Yeah, I'm sure we can get the last lap. One last little look. Let's look at it from if we're on board. Baker,
I may have to apologise to Steve Walker at some point.
So Steve Walker ended up finishing in 26th position, however it wasn't enough for him to take reverse grip pole. So let's have a look at the last lap. Yeah, lap 14 of the
Hold on,
race.
Alex is looking at the other one, I think.
Just literally looking at that back from a different angle, and there is so much track over to the left on Baker, and he was squeezing him, deliberately, and I'm sure he thought perhaps he was clear, but certainly wasn't, and I think Seb could have avoided it. So could have Baker, and Baker really did squeeze him to try and block the line off as well. So, interesting.
There might be some kind of justice with Seb finishing where he did and Baker not getting the reverse there.
I dare say that there'll be some sort of investigation into that, but I think in the end they're going to give that one a racing incident. Right? What was the other one that...
Was it the Steve Walker incident on the final lap of the race?
Yeah, it was lap 13.
Oh, was it the penultimate lap?
And it all starts after Graham Hill Bend, Alex, if we can find it.
Yep, so here we go. So yeah, Steve Walker, and he's got his teammate just ahead of him, hasn't he? So he's got the Woodhouse digital car having a little look as well, so that's why he's up the inside of his teammate going into Surtees. He does tag his teammate, of course that checks everybody up, and then we're side by side, and it's the same thing again. They're just into the quarter panel, dragged into each other, and then Walker's around. That gets him instantly disqualified. Do we need to look from Kip's point of view, because obviously he ends up on his roof, doesn't he? So let's just quickly jump that back as well.
To be fair to Steve, there wasn't actually a lot he could have done in that second incident. I think he's obviously at fault for crashing into his teammate, but then I think Rushworth's as much to blame for that as Steve is.
Well, I just think
more to blame, probably.
They're just side by side. It's the case of, as we said again, once the rears of the car just get tagged, they pull themselves into each other quite a bit. You can see that there, yeah, exactly. There's nothing, you can get your bottom dollar. Steve Walker's pointing to the left there, and Poor old Kip Stevens, he almost got through that as well. The car gets massively hoiked up in the air. He's on this roof, he's spinning, he's done like a 720 or something like that. Everybody just gets around him. There's nothing he can do. He has to reset. He's on this roof, and yeah, he needed those points as well with Thompson being out. That was the important thing as well from him. So in the end, a lot of the top 10 drivers all got themselves way down the order.
Yep. Yeah, indeed. And well, it remains to be seen what's going to happen in the third race of the evening. So we have Sebastian Job on pole position. That was unexpected, wasn't it? So back for race 3 here on Motors TV from Brands Hatch. It's the BSR Touring Car Championship. Don't go anywhere.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight. and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Hello and welcome back to BSR TV for this round 79 of the BSR Touring Car Championship presented by Engine Oil Direct. We are here tonight from the Brandsatch Circuit in Kent, England on iRacing Live and on Motors TV. Andrew Woodhouse, Alex Simpson and Adam Bath. And Adam, it's your turn to come in first this time. It was a big break for Sebastian Job in the last race, wasn't it? He managed, well, he crashed off early on in that race, first few laps, and then other incidents happened and he finds himself on reverse grid pole.
Well, it looked like after about 4 laps we were commentating on Sebastian Job's way to a 5th consecutive race victory. However, after the reverse grid placings, we could be about to commentate our way to Sebastian Job's 5th win out of 6 races, which is something astronomically, well, we've never seen it before in the BSRTC, let's just say that. And, well, yeah, getting 19th position, so that's pole position for him for race 3. Second position is Steve Hefford. 3rd, Daniel Craft. 4th, it is Steve Richardson. 5th, John Roberts. 6th, Robert Plumley. 7th, Dan Blake. 8th, it is Jay Wright. 9th, Dan Hunt. And then 10th, Richard Gore. 11th, Jamie Rushworth. 12th, Russell Laidler. 13th, Wojciech Savidovic. 14th, Paul Smith. 15th, Alex Malensky. 16th, Jerome Kaiser. 17th, Pete Newman. 18th, Andrew Whitehead. 19th, Rob Fagg. And in 20th place it is David Baker. 21st it is Matt Walker. 22nd, Jake Blackhall. 23rd, James Nash. 24th, Stelin Chepelewski. 25th, Simon Field. And then a long list of cars 1 lap down or more. Steve Walker disqualified on the last lap. 27th, Kip Stevens. 28th, Robert Brown. 29th, Jamie Fluke. 30th, Laura Bond. 31st, Stanimir Zuzov. 32nd, Julian Janowski. 33rd, Stephen Burke. 34th, Charles Sears. 35th, Lee Thompson. 36th, Colin Cunniff. And then 37th, Mark Johnston, who hasn't had a good night so far.
No, he hasn't. And Alex, I don't normally write races off before they start, but can anybody stop Sebastian Job here?
Oh, it's going to be tough. Really tough, I think. That's the answer. I mean, the guys need to get in and around him really quickly. If they let him settle in after just, 3/4 of a lap or something like that, then they're going to find it very, very difficult. And I expect that he'll be able to stretch a lead pretty quickly. So, yeah, the start is all important here, really. If you can get 1 or 2 cars in front of him at the start, and going to have to defend for everything they've got, I think, if they're going to make a race of this. But yeah, it's going to be a very tall order.
A couple of quick drivers around him in Steve Hefford and Dan Craft, Adam, but even they, with all their experience and speed, are going to find it tough here, I think.
Sorry, what was that, Andrew?
It's all right. Long question. No, long question, no answer. Just a few seconds then before we're going to go to the grid. Is Kia Optimus then bursting into life? Brandsatch for the final time tonight. The green light is on and it's a fairly even start at the front. It's a good start by Craft. He's already alongside Hefford into Paddock Hill Bend. Job into Paddock Hill first. Hefford's twitching and Craft and Hefford just inches away. Job's already 2 seconds in front. So,
there's someone off on the inside there, straight into the Armco. Not sure who
Apex
that was.
car off.
Oh, major. Oh, back into the track. The track is blocked further back, but maybe only 4 or 5 cars caught in that. I'm surprised we haven't seen a safety car, but everyone seems to somehow survive.
Yeah.
Nash, big time damage though, I think,
Craft.
and a few others as well.
Hefford twitching under braking into Surtees, Alex, and he does manage to make it through on Dan Craft. Sorry, Adam.
Yeah, Jay Wright was the car that was off in a big way at Paddock Hill Bend. The car just turned to the right in a big way, and then he was off to the tyre barrier. Side by side though, down the inside into Hawthorne's Bend. Round the outside goes Steve Hefford. But he's just able to hold on from Daniel Craft, who once again starting quite high up the order for this
And
third
Craft
final
down
race.
the inside. Oh, there's a
contacts.
big crash there. Big wreck behind him. It looked like it was Steve Richardson. Was it?
Yeah, Steve Richardson, yeah.
And he
He's back
survived.
on. Re-wide though into Shinka, that's not going to work, they're all off.
Hunt is off and back on. Smolenski was off as well. Vidovic up into about 8th. Oh, there's more contact at the one before Clearways. I always forget the name of the corner, but just hear contact.
Someone's on their roof. Pete Newman
Simon
media
Field.
car.
My goodness.
Yes. So Simon Field, not a good race for him. He was contact. Was it in race 1? That he sustained on the exit of Stirling's Bend with Lee Thompson, and then he's got another more damage here out of Stirling's Bend in race 2. So Sebastian Job already leading. What's the gap? 3 seconds. 3 seconds already.
Yeah, we said they would need to get him in the first corners, but yeah, that's just crazy. So
And that's Daniel Craft in second place. That's the driver who's won many races in this series against very good opposition.
But in fairness, Hefford had really gave it a good go to try and stay in front of Kraft that lap as well. And when you battle that hard, that is how much time you lose.
Oh, of course.
Wojciech Savidovic
off at the battle, big crash, massive crash on the back straight.
Oh, you were just seeing the
4 or 5
aftermath of it
cars
there.
involved.
Just trying to find it.
And off, round the outside is Thompson on the grass down Pilgrim's Drop and into Hawthorne. Brilliant from Thompson.
See if we can get that back from Lee's point of view, so we can see all of that. There's a lot. There's a lot going on out there right now. I think that bit of
Oh, he was so lucky as well.
everything sort of boiled over, hasn't it, from the last race? Really. Oh God, yeah. There's absolutely everything everywhere.
This
there.
is terrible.
You're right. Like I said, everything is boiled over from the last race, and it's just no one's got any room out there right now. And
nobody's got a rhythm out there either. There's damaged cars. There's cars going off the track. There's an Apex car off at 97. Jake Blackhall. Thompson's threading his way through. He's up to 27th place. He's up to 19th place already. 8 positions gained on 1 lap for the former DWC man.
Colin Cunniff involved as well. Sorry, Adam, there to cut you off. Wonder if Colin's problem that he had, I think he said his load cell or his pedometer or something like that broke in the last race. That's what all the problems was for him. So maybe that was a reoccurrence of that.
There's New Home's digital cars in trouble all across the track. Several of them have been in the walls. Dave Baker's in the pits. He's been also affected. Kip Stevens is in the pits as well, and that's championship implications for him because he needs to score as many points as possible. The AM rivals Roberts and Smith battling for 6th and 7th place in the right together. This is important scrap, Adam.
Yes, Savidovic just was able to get past Robert Plumley there down into Hawthorne, so he's now up into 4th position. Next on his hit list is Steve Hefford and Daniel Craft, so we could have a repeat 1-2 from race 1 at this race. Savidovic seems to be a man on a mission, desperate not to lose those points. At the same time, Laser Tools and Stemson Racing go into battle, well, not for very long. Alex Malensky through, and now Jamie Rushworth trying to go around the outside of Paul Smith as we head down the start-finish straight.
Smith's gear Optima is unusually dent-free as he comes through to start lap 4 and towards Paddock Hill Bend, and down the hill they go. Rushworth alongside the former champion. Smith is there, and now Hunt's there as well. It's going to be 3 abreast into Druids Bend, and Hunt hits Smith. And that was really quite likely, Alex, at one point, really.
Yeah,
and he's
exactly.
through again, and just, great
We know how quick Hunt is as well, and he wants to try and get that position as quickly as possible. And Smith turning in there a little bit early on Hunt. There's contact again, but
Smith's off.
Just run Smith wide. If anything, he's got Laidler now, who's going to come around the outside. He's already passed them through. Has to move over to stop Kaiser doing exactly the same thing. So yeah, definitely elbows are out in this race. Just take stock of who we've lost or who is involved in anything major that's involved them to pit. Steve Richardson, Robert Graham, James Nash, David Baker again, Steve Burke, Steve Walker, Richard Gore, Simon Field, Kip Stevens, Jay Wright, Laura Bond and Colin Cunniff all having issues at the start of this race. That's 26 through to 37 for 11 cars.
Yeah, and into clearways is Newman side by side with the Eurochip digital car of Robert Fagg, flying the flag for that team well. Rob down the inside, he's got great pace here at Brands Hatch tonight, Adam.
Yeah. Very, very good. Took a race victory in race 2, and now side by side with Newman again into Druids, and Newman's going to try and go around the outside, but I think the position has already been claimed by Rob Fagg. I thought Newman was going to get into the quarter panel there of that Kia Optima, but no. Rob Fagg threw up another position. He is now into 13th place. In front of them, Paul Smith and Jerome Kaiser are battling as well. Engine Oils Direct versus Stem Sim Racing. Contact! They hit wheels there. The right rear of Paul Smith hitting the left front of Jerome Kaiser, and Kaiser has to go through the gravel trap.
Yeah, that's damage for the Dutchman, and he'll be disappointed.
Rushworth
He's dropped back.
Just going to take a quick look at that back on replays. We just missed that on the camera there for a second, as we're just going into Graham Hill Bend. We'll get a little shot of what that did. Actually, Smith blinked out on him there as well. He's had some connection issues, and that probably just upset the rhythm there of Kaiser. He's right, and he just got into the rear of him there, and he was lucky not to hit the wall. He should be okay. Didn't look like he picked up any damage. Guys behind him got a bit of a run, but he manages to hold on to the position.
Yeah, he was having connection issues in the VLN the other day. They weren't major, but just affecting maybe enough there to cause a problem. But Jamie Rushworth is putting pressure on Alex Smolensky. They've just moved slightly away from John Roberts, not too much, but into Paddock Hill Bend, down the hill. Rushworth looking for an opening.
Roberts needs this result as well, doesn't he? Be just behind, he needs a good result. Who's he got coming in on him? Dan Hunt. So he needs to try and hold on to that position.
Remember the last time he was in, I think he was in second place, was he at Road America, and he ended up hitting the wall down at turn 3. Someone hit him, I think. But he needs to finish these races when he gets in these good positions. It's so important, Adam, isn't it? You don't want to waste these chances.
Yeah, we're coming down to the final few race meetings, of course, not too long, about a month or so before we start the showdown, and then the season really then gets underway with just a few race meetings left after that before the end of the season. Jamie Rushworth and Alex Smolensky continue to battle. They're closing in on Robert Plumley. Smolensky and Rushworth, former teammates, of course, back in the days of Elite 220. Rushworth just runs a little bit wide there, loses a few car lengths to Smolensky, and allows Smolensky to immediately go on the offensive on Robert Plumley. Smolensky's out of control, but he is able to save it. Doesn't lose too much ground there, but Rushworth's right with him. Oh, crash at the back. That's Paul Smith finally off, I think. I think his luck eventually ran out.
Finally off indeed, and yeah, I'm not sure who we connected with there. We'll have to have a look back because there's all sorts of battles.
Yeah, just looking at it now. I'm not sure who's with anyone actually.
Thompson.
No one around him as we turn in here. Has he got some damage on that car or something?
He must have got it already because the car's already crabbing as he got out of the gravel trap at Sheen Curve.
Yeah, he just lost on his own and hits the wall on his
that's
own.
what caused it.
So yeah, problem there for Smith, all on his own there. Unfortunately, did collect somebody else there, would have got a bit of damage, although doesn't look like that affected. I'm not sure who that was, sorry. So,
Job's just moseying along at the front, and he's extended the lead over Dan Craft to 6.3 seconds.
Svidovic closing in on Hefford though, so Svidovic could get a podium here. So
he's going to just outdrive him here, isn't he? Through
I'm sure when Svidovic saw that reverse grid, he thought, "You're joking me."
Yeah.
And but actually, he's had a great result as well. This one,
careful.
It's not over with yet. I won't curse him completely. But yeah, that's third place just there. So great move.
Bit of contact there between Hefford and Svidovic going into Hawthorns.
I think they were okay. I don't think they hit each other. I think it was just. I think it was very close, though. I must admit. Great battle going on for.
I think Smolensky and Rushworth have got past Plumley there.
Yeah, great battle going on for 13th, 14th backwards. It's your own Kaiser, Robert Fagg, and then Andrew Whitehead, Delian Chepelewski, Lee Thompson, Matt Walker, and Jamie Fluke. Not Jamie Fluke. It's a lapped car, I think. And oh no, it's Dan Blake. He's just dropped back a little bit. Kaiser trying to defend that 13th place. It's now 12th, I think. Robert Fagg's been in the walls. Did Robert Fagg hit Paul Smith earlier? Is that one of the... They come together?
That could have been the car that they came together with.
Robert Fagg's car was in good shape not so long ago, Adam.
Yeah, it could well have been who Paul clipped when he ricocheted off of the Armco there. So
Thompson and Chepelewski into Graham Hill Bend. Thompson round the outside of the Bulgarian. And... yes, he's
done. Yeah, good move. Looks like Cheppy's got a little bit of damage on the front of that Kia there as well, slowing him up just a little bit.
A little bit of damage.
Here comes Rushworth again on Alex Smolensky into Hawthorne. Smolensky able to hold on for now. Rushworth will try and get the inside line on the exit. Smolensky knows Rushworth too well to try and make sure that he doesn't get that move done. heading now through Dingle down towards Sheen Curve, and then after that Stirling's in clearways. Rushworth shows his nose to the inside, no way through there. Jamie now down through to Stirling's, very hard place to overtake as well. I think Rushworth needs to try and set him up for a move either in Paddock Hill or into Druids. We're going to come round to start lap number 9 when we get to the line.
Yeah, and 5 laps left here for Job, and he's extended his lead somewhat as well. 6.5. Sorry, where's Sebastian Job gone?
No, he's just dropping down the list massively.
No.
So that looks like
Oh
it
my God!
might be a connection issue.
I
Can
think
only,
so.
can only be a connection issue. Dan Craft's taken over the lead.
That's like
well, this is handed it to Savinovic on a plate.
Yeah.
This is the battle for the lead then. Daniel Kraft and Wojciech Savinovic.
he had the ball in his hand for a slam dunk. He went up and then the ball flew out of his hand.
Ah.
Dear me, he almost had it in the net. And Wojciech Savinovic
Could be about
now
to
has
take it.
the easiest of layups, basketball terms, to try to win this race.
It just goes to show
Unbelievable.
you we cannot count our chickens ever.
Never
You know what I mean?
guarantee anything in the BSRTs.
He just had a great lap as well. He just took 8/10 out of Daniel Kraft. And
Right, let's see what Daniel Hunt can do then.
wow.
Daniel Kraft is a top driver in the VSRTC. He has taken victories for many teams, and now he's trying to hold off Wojciech Savinovic for how many more laps? Just 5 more laps of racing. Can it be done, Andrew?
it can be done. I know from experience, cough cough barber cough cough, that when Wojciech Savinovic is behind you, it's very, very difficult to think about holding him off for 1 lap, let alone 5. So this is key for Daniel Kraft, but well, it's not so much key for Savinovic. He could stay in second place. Obviously, wants to maximise the points. He wants to get as far ahead of Job as possible. But if he realises what's happened to the Apex driver, Savinovic could set off for second. And I don't know. What do you think, Alex? What would you do?
Well, he looks like he's going for
he's
it.
not- he's
There is
settling.
no way he's going
Well,
to settle
should
for
he be?
second.
Well,
No,
should
there's
he
no chance. I think Svidovic's good enough to know that he will.
Oh, no!
There you go. No, he can get this, and he'll want these extra points for the win. I tell you.
Doesn't
Remember,
want to do
4
that
points.
too many times, though.
Yeah, 4 points for the win. As far as what he'll start the showdown with there, so instead of 2 for second, so he'll want those extra 2 points. He's going to need them, I think, come the end of the season. It's just he knows that Seb is right there with the amount of points they're going to start this off as well. So any advantage you can take going into that is going to be key.
Does he want to risk a crash, though?
We started the evening with Sebastian Joe possibly could have took all 3 race victories again. Now he's only going to take 1, and Wojciech Savinovic is looking down the inside of Daniel Kraft, down towards Sheen Curve. Kraft covers the inside line there.
There's no way Job would have won. He wouldn't have won race 2. I don't think he ever.
Probably would have been 2 race victories. Unlikely as it could have been possibly even 3 in possible circumstances. That's how quick he was.
Yeah.
Today.
Hey,
But
whoa,
yeah,
don't
He's
get
back
me
in
wrong.
he's back on the server now as well, so way
Back in
down
the
in
race?
34th place. Still only 1 lap down. What's the ruling with
Just
the
two
points?
laps.
it's 2
Yeah,
laps.
2 laps. So he needed to do that, didn't he? So that he at least scored points and stayed inside the top 10. That's the important thing.
Well, here we go then, on to lap number 11. Savinovic gets a good run, but Kraft covers the inside line into Druids Bend, and he knows how to race with Savinovic. He moves just off the inside line, but it's not going to be enough.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, yeah.
Savinovic down the inside. Kraft is going to try and get the cut back there on the exit. This could
That's
be good
a
driving
great
for Kraft.
cutback.
He was anticipating that brilliantly, Daniel Kraft. Down the inside he goes into Surtees, and he is able to just get back past Savinovic. Savinovic will have the run on the outside though.
Push him off, is he?
Go on, Daniel. Oh no! This could end up in disaster here for Savinovic as well. Heading down the hill towards Hawthorns. Savinovic, is he going to try and plant his nose in there? He is not.
I don't think you should here.
Oh, good grief! And Daniel Kraft is just able to hold on to the lead.
Almost disaster there. Rushworth and Smolenski side by side in the background, but this is the battle that we need to look at. Or the lead of the race. What driving from Daniel Kraft on this lap, Alex?
Yeah, fantastic there. That he gave Wodge the room there, didn't he? And then just knew that he could get that cutback. He absolutely nailed it perfectly, and to hold that around the outside there, great job. And all this battling is just letting Hefford come a little bit closer as well. We could have a 3-car battle here.
Yeah, Hefford started on the front row, Adam, and he got left by Job a little bit at the beginning, but he's got good paces, Steve. He does show that every now and again.
Here we go then, on to lap number 12. 3 laps to go now.
Around the outside, Savidovic, but that's surely too much of an asking paddock hill. He's gone a little offline. He's scrubbed some of the speed off. Kraft has to defend into Druids. He holds that inside line. It's a very good corner to defend in. That because you can just park it on the apex, Alex.
Wojciech very, very late on the brakes as well there for Graham Hill Bend, and just carries a little bit more speed than Kraft. Kraft definitely on the defensive now as well, and Hefford's 0.4 of a second back, so this is now a 3-car battle.
Here we go then, 2.5 laps to go. Down the straight towards Hawthorns. Savidovic in the slipstream once again. Is he going to look to the inside into Hawthorns? No, cuts to the outside this time. Maybe he's trying to force Daniel Kraft to take a slow entry, and that will result in not as quick as an exit. Down towards this right-hander, and then down towards Sheen Curve. Savidovic still in second place. Can't find any way past Daniel Kraft yet. Down towards Sheen Curve, still no change in position. And what Daniel Kraft could do is push Savidovic into making a mistake. It happened with, I think, Jamie Rushworth and Julian Familiares at Bathurst a few seasons ago.
Yeah. That's a major one. We go to Bathurst Mount Panorama next week.
Oh, hits Kraft again. I think Daniel Kraft is doing a fantastic job of really ruffling Wojciech Savidovic's feathers here. We're coming to get the penultimate lap, and Savidovic still in second place. Is he going to try for the lead now?
Feathers might be ruffled, but Kraft's in the catbird seat as we head on to 2 laps to go. Savidovic trying as they go towards Druids, and round the outside he's going to try it. Alex is oh yes, he's going to do it, I think, Savidovic.
Is he going to learn his lesson though this time, Alex?
No, he's not. Oh well, Kraft got the cutback all right to the back of Savidovic, but Savidovic's momentum was lost there, Alex, for some reason. Oh, they're hitting each other. And Savidovic can't throw this chance away. Jobe's not going to score any podium credits. He's nowhere near the top 10.
Here we go then, down the straight, and Savidovic is clear. Wojciech Savidovic has now got the lead, but for how much longer? Down the straight we go, down Pilgrim's Drop, down towards Hawthorns. 1.5 laps to go. Kraft's going to go around the outside, but is there going to be enough room? Here comes Steve Hefford. He hits the back of Savidovic just a little bit, unsettles the car.
Into Westfield. They drop down the hill. Oh no! Kraft, and he's hit Hefford, and they're okay. They're just about okay. And Hefford's up into second place now. He's now going to be chasing down Wojciech Savidovic. Can he do it? Rushworth and Smolenski joining the party. What a 5-car scrap, Alex, as we head to the last lap.
Yeah, well, this battle for the front of this race has been absolutely fantastic. No matter what's gone on a little bit earlier at the start, this has been great.
Can Savidovic hold on, Adam?
I think he can. I think he can. We're coming around 1 lap to go. White flag in the air of round 79 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. And, well, who could have predicted this? Sebastian Jobe, 7-second lead, and then disappears. And now it's Wojciech Savidovic in the lead, down towards Druids. And look, everyone's coming together here. We've got now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars now. Savidovic, Hefford. Then we've got Kraft, Smolenski, and then Jamie Rushworth. So Rushworth could possibly one or possibly even 2 places here on the final lap.
Hefford had a great paddock hill bend, Alex. He slightly bungled Druids, and that means that he's just lost touch a bit with Savidovic. But he will get the slipstream down the back straight.
Yeah, he needs to nail these last 2 sections if he's going to have any chance, any opportunities. Savidovic so good, doesn't make mistakes. Rushworth in the background as well, going to try and go around the outside of Smolenski. Is this he's going to make it stick? He's tried this move a few times already in this race.
Effort's closing in.
Runs off a little bit wide there for Jamie. Still round the outside, still side by side. There's 3 corners. These guys have been like that. Smolenski holds on again, and they've dropped a little further back from Kraft. So I think Kraft's going to be safe now as well.
Hefford got a good run out of the second to last corner at Stirling's Bend, but he's not going to be close enough. And all Savidovic has to do is go through clear ways to pick up his 16th win of the season. And Wojciech Savidovic, the championship leader, takes a thrilling, miraculous victory in race 3.
Hasn't taken a race victory in quite a while, Wojciech Savidovic, so this is very important to him.
Good battle coming across the line. That was Pete Newman and your own Kaiser, just a 1/10 of a second or less even, separating them, as well as Czapaleski and Robert Fagg as well. They were close. Looks like James Nash and Robert Graham are pretty close. They've got Paul Smith behind them, so still few little battles going on. We'll stick with this one for the moment.
Nash might have to stick with him inside to clearways.
There's
Smith.
Smith's connection has just been a nightmare tonight. He just I thought he crashed off somewhere. It's like,
Can Nash get the run out of the? No, he can't. But Smith's got a run. He's disappeared. He's back again.
He just wanted to try and morph through him, didn't he? There, it's like lag switch engaged.
Oh no! It's all these hacks, isn't it? Oh dear. Good race though. Good race in the end. It was very messy at the start.
Indeed,
it wasn't good for the first half of the race, but the second half was brilliant.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, like you say, little scrappy. There was a couple of tiny little instances that, unfortunately, because of the pack size and the gaps between everyone, just escalated massively. And we lost 15 cars really in those few laps. That ended up pitting as well. No, not so much. Probably 14.
It has been a while,
but
like since we've had those kind of retirements. To be fair, Alex, and it's unusual to see it these days, isn't it? Quite big attrition in these races.
Yeah, no safety cars this week as well. I mean, they could have easier thrown the safety car there, and we would have those battles would have been a lot closer, I think, as well. So, but yeah, in the end, what a fantastic race! That 5 cars fighting out for the lead at the end there, and the top 3, great. I thought Kraft was going to hold on, and in the end, he didn't. He only got 3rd. So yeah, amazing.
Wojciech Savidovic's first win since Silverstone Nationals, so that's his first win in 8 races.
That just goes to show why Joe really had been charging up through the table and on the bonus points for the showdown as well. That was getting closer and closer. So yeah, he'll need that. Maybe that'll give him a bit more confidence. Not that I think Sidovic is lacking any. He looked really, really good today in that first race behind Job, and those two pretty much nip and tuck through this whole championship.
Right, we haven't got a great deal of time left, but Adam, if you can just run us through the final results, and then we're going to have to shoot off. But it's been a great meeting at Brands Hatch, and take us through the order.
Well, Wojciech Savidovic takes his 16th win of the season. It looked like it was going to be Sebastian Job's 15th, which would have brought them equal on race wins this season. But Savidovic adds another one to his list. Steve Hefford 2nd, Daniel Kraft 3rd, Alex Malinsky 4th, Jamie Rushworth in 5th, Russell Laidler in 6th, Daniel Hunt 7th, Robert Plumley in 8th, Pete Newman in 9th, and Jerome Kaiser in 10th. 11th for Stelin Chepelewski, 12th for Rob Fagg, 13th John Roberts, 14th Lee Thompson, 15th Andrew Whitehead, 16th Jamie Fluke, 17th Matt Walker, 18th Dan Blake, 19th Stanimir Zuzov, and then in 20th it is Julian Janovsky, 21st Charlie Sears, 22nd Steve Richardson, 23rd David Baker, 24th Robert Graham, 25th James Nash, 26th Paul Smith, 27th Stephen Burke, 28th Steve Walker, 29th Richard Gore, 30th Simon Field, and the cars 1 lap down or more. 31st Jay Wright, 32nd Kip Stevens, 33rd Sebastian Job while leading, 34th Laura Bond, 35th Mark Johnston, 36th Jake Blackhall, and then 37th after that amazing incident in race 2 for Colin Cunniff. I don't think he took the start.
Well done, Adam. There again, it's always reading the results as a marathon experience. So yeah, you can have a little breath now. But how have you enjoyed tonight's racing, Adam? I think it's been great.
Well, off down under next week, Bathurst. Many great races there in the past. Season 5, Savidovic battling away in that one. Season 6 as well. I think Stefan Hug facing the wrong way.
Rushworth and Familiares in season 5, wasn't it?
Yeah, the race that ended Jamie Rushworth's chance at taking 2 championships in a row. Yeah, that was one of the best ones. And then season 6, Stefan Hug facing the wrong way after in the final race. That was that was after Wojciech Savidovic took the title the round before it. Funnily enough, at Brands Hatch. And
by the way, season 6 Brands Hatch meeting was fantastic. That was the clash, wasn't it? Hug and Savidovic that decided that championship, and that did they not hit each other?
I mean, I remember who crashing in race 2, and that's
crashed into like just after Graham Hill Bend, didn't he?
Yeah, in race 2, and then that sorted it all out, and Savidovic was able to take the title back then for Apex Racing TV, and now Apex Racing TV are now trying to catch him up at Engine All Direct. We'll see if they're able to do it at the long straights and the tight, twisty mountain section that is Mount Panorama Bathurst next week.
Alex, what does it take for the drivers to circumnavigate Bathurst safely?
Well, I just want to quote James Hunt. If you know the quote, then you'll get it. I won't say it on air, put it that way.
Dear.
But I think that's it. That's all you need for Bathurst. So it's going to be a great race, absolutely fantastic race. The last time we were there was a lot of fun. I expect we'll see some carnage over the top of the mountain, guaranteed.
I think I remember traffic jams spring to mind.
It is the scariest section in motor racing, I think, is that coming down the hill. Well, in a Kia Optima it is, because the back end's light enough as it is. And
could you imagine overcast?
Oh dear,
I think we've had it. I think we've had it there before.
The last race of
in season 6, yeah, was overcast.
Yeah, when Smith won, I think was that. So right, it's been a pleasure, gentlemen, as usual. Really enjoyable evening here at Brands Hatch, and well, it's been a great night on Motors TV and on iRacing Live and on the Apex Racing TV YouTube channel. So we will see you this time next week for Bathurst. You do not want to miss that one. From all of us here at the BSR Touring Car Championship, it's goodbye for now.